This episode of the Young Turks is brought to you by Line 2. Get unlimited calling and texting for just $9.95 a month without the long-term contracts.
If you give in on this, actually it's not even giving in, it was his idea, on the idea of reducing the payroll taxes for Social Security. He considers it a massive win. He's like, oh, look at what I got. I got payroll taxes go from 6.2 to 4.2. That's $120 billion in people's pockets, and that's going to stimulate the economy. Okay, yeah, that's great. By the way, it turns out, as we find out today from actual Republicans saying it out of their mouths, yeah, we would have done that deal anyway. That deal is great. You know why? One, it's a tax cut. We're always in favor of tax cuts. And number two, it's going to help us undermine Social Security later. That's what we told you yesterday. Now look at this frank admissions by the Republicans today. Senator Bob Corker from Tennessee. Once something like this goes into place, meaning the deduction in payroll taxes, so Social Security gets less money, a year from now, when it expires, it'll be portrayed as a tax increase. So they're going to come back around and go, oh, no, that's a tax increase, man. You can't increase that tax. And what are you going to do? Social Security even has less money now, so I guess we're going to have to cut it. But trust me, keep reading the quotes. Here's Mike Johans, for Republican senator from Nebraska. Once you bring a rate down, if it goes back up, people will feel that. They'll feel that their paycheck being less, and that argument eventually is bound to be made. Look, I mean, you're going to do a tax hike. We can't do that, right? So we're going to have to cut it permanently. Well, Johans actually tells you exactly what the real deal is at the end here. Here's another quote from him. The difficulty you have here is that you have a very large federal deficit, and you've got a Social Security fund that really needs some work. Social Security has got to be part of the mix of deficit reduction proposals. Stay tuned. End of quote. You know what that means? Oh, no. We're going to take $900 billion in tax cuts now. And stay tuned. When we go to cut to meet that $900 billion, what are we going to cut? We're going to cut Social Security. He's telling you. And he's saying, thank you very much, President Duncehead, for helping us. Well, maybe he's not a duncehead. Maybe he's a Republican. Thank you, secret Republican president, because now you're going to help us make the case to cut Social Security. Here's George Voinovich, Republican senator from Ohio. He's actually one of the good guys here. He's opposed to the bill. He thinks it would create a terrible deficit problem. He actually wants to protect Social Security. But he agrees that the Republicans are up to exactly this. Here's his quote. Look, there's always a tendency to continue those things, meaning once you do the payroll tax cut. Once something comes in, it's very difficult to change it. It would be detrimental to Social Security system, especially when it's in bad shape. So wait a minute, he just said, look, it would be really detrimental to Social Security, and he's voting against it anyway. So they say, well, how about your fellow Republicans? Is deprivation of the Social Security fund one of their goals? His answer, quote, I suspect so. So the Republican President Barack Obama gives a $900 billion tax cut, by the way, the great majority of which is going to the rich. Do you know that the top 1% are going to get 25% of the benefits of the tax cuts? I'm not talking top 10%. I'm not talking top 20%. Just the top 1% get 25% of the benefits, okay? So they get this giant gift, and then later they will use it to cut your Social Security. They are saying it, not me. They say, yeah, of course we are. It's going to be awesome. And by the way, who's the guy who appointed the Deficit Commission who wants to cut Social Security? That's right, the Republican President, Barack Obama. So as I get today's news, do I want, yesterday the New York Times interviewed me. Matt Bai from the New York Times called me and said, hey, are you ready to talk about a primary opponent against President Obama? Even yesterday, I was foolish enough to say, I'm not quite there yet, right? Because primary opponents wind up hurting presidents significantly in the past. That has been the history throughout, American politics. Well, I am there. I would like a primary opponent because I would like at least one Democrat to run for president in 2012. If Obama continues on this path, as he is almost certainly going to do, I'm telling you he's going to do more damage than a Republican. Not because Republicans would go not as far down the road, but because he gives the appearance of he's the ultimate Joe Lieberman. He gives the appearance of, oh, well, the Democrats agreed to it. Look, you saw Rove. You saw O'Reilly. Well, if President Obama, Democratic president, agrees, we must be right. Look, it's not just this stuff. You know what else it is? It's warrantless wiretapping. When Bush did it, it was wildly illegal. Obviously illegal. Violation of the FISA Act, violation of the Fourth Amendment. Now, when a Democratic president continues the same policy, well, it's now no longer illegal. Democrats agree, Republicans agree. We no longer have a right to privacy. The government can wiretap us without a court order. When Obama does not investigate torture and how we did waterboarding of people, which we have prosecuted and put people in jail for before, well, he says it's no longer illegal. It's just a difference of opinion. You know, when you get another president in, he could do torture just as much. It's not illegal. There's nothing to prosecute here. And I can go on, predator strikes, etc. I can go on, escalation in Afghanistan, the federal pay freeze and getting absolutely nothing in return, expansion of offshore oil drilling, getting nothing in return. This guy's the Manchurian Candidate. Oh, now we're going to have to fight. Now we're going to have to fight a Democratic president while Washington is going to be giggling over this. Oh, great. Now we get to call progressives even more socialist, far left, because they're not even happy with a Democratic president. With Line 2, you don't need two cell phones anymore. One cell phone, two lines. Too easy.
Right, and it also provides caller ID, voicemail.
Plus, your iPod Touch and your iPad can now be turned into basically mobile phones for only $9.95. You don't have to pay all the phone charges. And it's unlimited Wi-Fi calling.
We're not the only ones who like this. This service received glowing reviews from PC Mag, the New York Times,
including USA Today.
So you can get a 25% discount for the first 6 months if you're one of the first 1,000 to sign up using the promo code TYT25.